All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to It's Basically Monday on a Monday, as it should be, as it always once was. I've got everyone here as usual. We never do it without everyone, so I don't even know why I say that every time. But yeah, Gouda, John, and me, Valero, back at you again with another hopefully interesting episode. No, it's gonna be I don't even want to downplay it. It's gonna be super interesting. No, I'm just kidding. I don't really have anything crazy, but it should be pretty good. Actually, you know what? I kind of wanted to well, first off, did you guys have anything updates you wanted to tell everyone before I get right into it?
No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, obviously we took a
Yeah.
week off last week. The reason for that was that me and Gouda here were we went to the International Security Convention on the West Coast, which is in Las Vegas. And yeah, we could have recorded maybe, but our flight would have left within a few hours right after we finished recording, and we just felt like that was too much. So, but yeah, I kind of wanted to just kind of get right into it, considering that's probably the freshest thing on our minds. Um, like I've been there. I go every other year, I'd say, and I have for the last 10 years. Um, so I've been there at least five or six times at this point. So, like nothing was there was definitely things that were oh, I haven't seen that this year. But I guess I wanted to start with asking you, since this was your first time going, Gouda, uh, was there anything. Oh, so basically, the international. Before I ask you, just to preface this, the International Security Convention. This is for security cameras, anything that's technology built into a building, or has something to do with maintaining the security of property. We're not talking about security guards, like uh, like bodyguards and stuff. So, yeah, that's what we're talking about here. So, yeah, is there anything that surprised you, I guess, that wasn't what you thought it was gonna be when you got there?
Uh, I would say first off, shout out to Few Systems. They may or may not take you to Vegas if you're just barely part-time. And you may or may not even have to know them for 20 plus years for that to happen. But
That's true.
yeah, that was sweet shit. Yeah, thanks a lot. It was yeah, it was incredible. And not even just because it was in Vegas, but just being at the convention itself. And to continue to answer your question is what surprised me was just how comprehensive and professional it all was. I guess I was kind of expecting to go there and there just to be a show floor of just a bunch of security product vendors, and it kind of was it was a shit ton of cameras and stuff like that. But I guess I was expecting it to be more like that. I was expecting it to be just the world's largest camera swap meet or something like that. I did not expect there to be keynote speakers and educational sessions on all parts of security, not just building security. They're talking about cybersecurity, event security, like destination security, city security. It's I was telling Valero, the people there, some of the people there had a mystique and an aura around them that was just I don't even want to approach this person. They must have the kind of power where they can make one phone call and ruin my life. Because they had ex FBI and White House people there speaking, so it
Hmm.
was
I
yeah,
think
it
was there a
was
CIA person this year? I thought there was,
uh
or an ex CIA person. Usually they don't have
the
current
only
people,
the
but
only two people I listened to that were ex-government were FBI and White House.
Interesting. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
had a CIA person there before. But yeah, I like that stuff too. And I guess that does surprise me. I never take like advantage of the keynotes as much because usually when I go there, I have to spend so much time like on the show floor where like they have all the vendors talking. Like it's so big. I feel like that's what always like throws me for a loop. It's so big. Like the convention is like so massive and like I feel like it's seemingly like as far as the eye can see, like just vendors just right next to each other. Like there is no walking space between each vendor. Like it's packed. Like and there's just like thousands and thousands of people there. Like yeah, it's just like how can there possibly be this many vendors? And also, could they possibly have found one singular room that's actually that big? Like, it's like one of the biggest rooms. No, it's probably like the biggest room I've ever been in. Like, it's so big. Like, it takes forever to walk from one side to the other. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'd
it's
say
just
it's
filled.
like it was like four Costco's put together.
God damn. Yeah, four Costco's. Yeah, God. Yeah, just one massive room. And like, oh, I noticed this year that was different is I saw a lot of vendors had bars. Like they set up like a bar and hired a bartender at their booth. Did you see that?
So I did see that, but I wasn't sure exactly what was going on. I didn't know if like the convention itself just had like bar like checkpoints because they knew it's like it's good for like overall business if everyone's like lubed up. Because I just assumed
True.
like that deals are happening on like the show floor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, we also saw that one booth that had they hired a grandma to like bake chocolate chip
Oh
cookies.
yeah.
And,
She was
like
literally a grandma.
yeah, and when they got out of the oven, she was like wafting like the the scent out out to like the convention. Yeah, it was wild, man.
That's
Like
to
they
try
were
to
doing
attract. And she was like,
everything.
she
Yeah, they were
caught my
doing.
eye and she saw me and she was trying to like wave me in, like, come on, like come grab a cookie. But like obviously when you grab a cookie, like they want you to stop and like talk to them for a second so they can like see if you're interested in like whatever they're selling. Which
Yeah.
like sometimes is great. Like if you are like maybe interested or it's like worth it. But for them in particular, and for a lot of the ones with like the free drinks and like, because some of them had like not only bars, but they just had like cups of beer. They're just pouring beer. It's like here, yeah, like take your cup of beer. And I was
I
like, dude, I
thought.
want to so bad, but like I'm not interested in your product in the
Yeah.
slightest. Like,
I thought that was all paid. I thought I thought they were just like part of the convention and that you could just go and buy something if you wanted. I did see one that was like paid, but the other ones that would just seem like kind of free, I was just like, yeah, I don't look like I could kill a person with a phone call, so I'm not gonna walk up there and take this.
that's hilarious. Yeah, that's and kill a person with a phone call. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I would say um
You don't
did you
wait,
see
so before you go on, like, do you think I'm wrong? Like, I feel like there were people in that room
yeah.
like that could
No.
do that.
No, you are completely correct about that. Like if there's anyone you want to have a connection with and like the most powerful person that you probably would ever actually meet in real life, like that's it right there. Like
Like,
yeah.
that's insane. And like they look like I mean like some people like made it obvious that they were like above everyone else, but for the most part everyone just looked like a normal person and yet like they have so much power and access. I would say the word for it was eye-opening.
Interesting. Yeah, I'd agree for sure. Yeah, it's like, oh my God. And he's just here telling us like not even all the secrets, but just a little bit. And it's like things you just like you've never even thought of before. Yeah,
Yeah.
it that definitely is pretty crazy. Did you see the ominous like Illuminati meeting and like the biggest booth there? I forget what person who had the biggest booth. It was like I forget. It wasn't Asa Abloy. It was like one of the big guys. I forget which one. But like they had their booth was so big that they built a structure, like a standing structure in the middle of their booth. And like it had like multiple floors on it, and on the top floor was like an executives like meeting like room.
I did see that. Was it like
Yeah.
orange?
I want to say so. Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I did see
Yeah.
that. When I
And
walked
like,
past it, it was pretty empty though.
oh, I saw the Illuminati meeting going on, and like everyone there was in full suits. Like you could tell, like these people were important, like for sure, for sure. Like, because not everyone in the convention is in a full suit. Like, there were people
No,
there in full suits, but like that's not necessarily normal. I would say, like,
I'd
well,
say people were like in blazers and sport coats, but I didn't see
yeah.
a lot of like full suits. No.
I noticed that a lot of the Asian vendors were in full suits, like the Asian guys suit all the way up. But yeah, like most of like just like the normal like American vendors, like yeah, it's just like blazers, sports coats, maybe like a button up or something like that. Like mostly like jeans, like maybe some slacks. But yeah, mostly not a full suit. But like this is full suits, like some slick ass like looking suits, like fitted, tailored, good ass suits. Like no, these guys, like I know bosses when I see them. Like especially when they're all congregated in a secret Illuminati meeting. Yeah, it was crazy. And they're all like leaned in like super close. Like you could tell like there was some secret proprietary like deals and information going on in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
that's
was
pretty.
wild.
It's pretty unsettling. Like, I guess I don't know. I feel like
Like that
usually
booth
if you're
alone probably costs like $200,000.
yeah, but I feel like if you're powerful enough, and correct me if you think my assumption is wrong, John. I feel like if you're powerful enough as a boss, like you don't show up to those things. Like you're sending like your VPs and like
That's true.
your directors. Does that seem wrong to you, John?
No, that sounds right. I wouldn't
Yeah, I
expect
feel
them to
like
go.
yeah, I wouldn't expect the final boss to like be there actually on the show floor, exposed.
Yeah, that's true. So this is like all the bosses, yeah, their liaisons and like whatnot, like their personal representatives.
But that is true. I only saw like one full suit for every like 300 people.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing I saw there was they always have like an emerging technology section, and they have a drone. It's actually an entire company that specializes in drone defense. So you can hire these people, like anyone can hire them, and they will basically set up another drone. It's like an anti-drone drone that like basically like when it detects a drone in your airspace, it'll launch another drone that will shoot a net and like capture and interrogate the other drone. Like, so like yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. Like
So
wow,
what kind of life are you living where you need drone reconnaissance?
I know, right? Like
Yeah, you guys remember when looking up in the sky was beautiful? It's about to just be like nothing but carnage, warfare,
yeah,
disease,
Nah,
it's
man.
gonna be
toxins.
warfare. Yeah,
Yeah,
people flying drones trying to attack the other drones that are flying.
I'm just gonna have to go
Yeah,
to the mountains then. It's peaceful where I'm at right now. If it ever gets noisy again, nah, I'm going to the mountains.
no, see, you're honestly probably their prime customer because you don't seem like someone who wants drones buzzing around your area. So like, you have to hire your own drone to buzz around the area
But I'm
to
not
stop
silly
drones.
yeah, I'm not silly enough to create a problem to solve a problem I don't have yet.
mm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would assume this is for people who are like in an area where like they refuse to move. Like this is where my location is. Like moving's not an option. People keep flying fucking drones over here. Like what do I do? And like now there's an option you can hire. I didn't
Moving
see anyone even
moving
behind the
is
booth.
always an option. I mean, it would make no sense that you have the resources to buy drone reconnaissance and not be able to move. There's no chance. That is
It's like,
insane.
oh shit,
Who
they
But
know I'm
who is
here
the
and
it's more
they're
than
customer?
sending
just
drones.
reconnaissance. It's anti-drone warfare. And then
Who
also
who is this customer? I need to understand their life. I need to understand what's happening with them.
yeah,
Didn't
I
even
wish I could have
I didn't
talked to
even
her
think
honestly.
to ask. I was just like, holy shit, that's pretty cool. Like I didn't even like yeah.
Did you see the
Again,
EMP launcher as well?
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that thing's always cool. Like you can have the anti-drone drone, or you can have like the it looks like a surface to air missile launcher, but instead it's just like an
I mean,
EMP emitter.
that does sound cool. Like I'm not gonna lie. I just don't
Yeah,
understand who is buying. Like when I wonder like these people are there to like sell the product. I just wonder who who is it that they say, you know what? I know who's gonna buy this. Like I know who needs an anti-drone drone. Like
That's
and they were,
hilarious.
and they knew they were gonna be there. That's what I was saying. Like there were scary people like in that building.
Yeah,
Like
if
I
they
walked
were gonna
by
find
them.
anyone who needed that, it would be there.
they've
Yeah,
certainly
I
done
walked
some
by them.
unsavory things for a
Yeah,
win.
yeah. The shiver went down my spine. I was like, holy shit! He just stole everything from me. Like he just used his like RFID scanner and he just stole everything. He took all my information.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like apparently, like someone else that we went with in the company was saying that like there was one guy who was like, yeah, like let me scan your phone, like, and I'll show you like what I can do. And like they're like, no, fuck you, like don't scan my phone because that's what happens at like these conventions. There's like, yeah, like I'll show you how good I am at hacking and like shit, and how vulnerable you really are, and why you need our product
I
to
felt
keep
I
you
felt
safe.
I felt dirty and loose by the way, like how everyone was so like anxious to scan my badge, because like when you went to this convention, obviously they give you like an ID. So like keep in mind this is like is this the world's largest security convention or just like
It's the largest one in North America. I think there's one
okay,
in Asia that's comparable, and then there's one in Europe that's comparable.
yeah. So like these are like the most like paranoid, anxious, smart, devious, and like organized people that you could ever meet. And like all of them were so desperate to scan the QR code that they put on like your attendee badge that like when I kind of looked at someone's screen when they scanned it, I guess they had like all your information on it and stuff like that. Luckily, I didn't like completely fill out like my profile on that app. So like
Yeah,
I think they only got like my picture and like my name or whatever.
yeah, I'm
But
sure they'd love to sell as much information and get their hands on it.
yeah. So how many
Oh yeah,
people like when you're walking by like tried to actually stop you? Like on a scale of so like let's say an average between 0 and 10 for every 30 minutes that you were there. Like how many people are stopping you between 0
like
and
really
10?
stopping me from walking by and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
none." So, which is surprising because usually that does happen, but this time no one stopped me. But like I will say, like, well, actually, probably because this was probably like one of the most crowded years I've ever seen. So maybe like there's just so many people constantly that like yeah, I never really saw like a booth where people were just sitting around doing nothing. Actually, no, there was one. They're like guys who were trying to like sell cable or something like that. Like
That's so dumb. Like
like everyone has
I
cable.
don't
No one
understand.
knows. Yeah,
Like
no one
people are
came here to
here with
find
the
cable.
drone defense and EMPs, and you're just trying to sell a fucking like Ethernet cable.
Like,
Get out of here.
yeah, those guys were sitting. No one was going up to their booth. But for the most part, everyone, all their like representatives were busy talking with people like everywhere I went. So like no, but every time I stopped at a booth and started just kind of like lingering and looking around, I would say 75% of the time someone would come up to me and say something.
All right, cool.
Don't linger.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
No,
don't want
even
to
when
talk
I
at least.
even when I was walking by like real fast, people were stopping me. Like I would say my average was like every 15 booths I passed, one of them would try to stop me.
Really?
Yeah, I looked like too much of a mark. I was too like amateur and nubile. Like I was holding a notebook and everything. They're like,
Mark.
wow, this guy actually cares. Like, what an idiot.
Mark. That's hilarious. Like we can get this guy's money. That's funny.
Yeah, but I would say that also it was obvious to me like the veterans like in the room at the booths, like the ones that were like they could like look at you and tell like what kind of stakeholder you were. It's like, oh yeah, this guy doesn't make purchasing decisions, or oh yeah, this guy
Yep.
doesn't have like reports or anything like that. Like so, yeah, that
Yeah.
was also very yeah. It was just all. It was an interesting like presentation and like analysis and experience of the human condition, security, and yeah, I guess where we are in the modern world because like they have to be like as much on the cutting edge as uh like pornography businesses have to be on the cutting edge. And like one like interestingly like the one talk that I went to that was like the most jam packed I feel like was the one on talking about deepfakes, uh voice cloning, all that stuff. And that was the one given by an ex I shouldn't say ex, like she previously worked at the White House as the chief information officer, and so she was giving examples of
Wow.
the technology that exists now with the deepfakes and the voice cloning and chat GPT and like how easy it is to like completely clone someone's like likeness and
So
like
are
I
we fucked?
she was saying that
Damn.
it was
She
actually
would know.
it was very interesting that wait, Dad, did you go to any like of the talks? Okay, so I will like that's pretty much like where I spent most of my time. I think I saw like eight of them, eight or nine,
Wow.
something like that. And it was interesting and very like unsettling. And I don't know if this is like part of like the angle of like making people scared so that you can like sell them shit. I'm sure that has something to do with it. But everyone was like, yeah, like we're kind of all fucked. It's just kind of just a matter of time before the big one comes. These are the ways that you can kind of get prepared, but and these are the people. These are like the people, organizations, and governments that are probably gonna do it. And yeah,
Really? Like, what do you mean?
good
Like,
luck to
pause the
everyone.
end? Holy
Like,
shit.
yeah, it's just like every man for themselves. We're trying to tell you what's happening before,
It's like, this is
and
your
that was it.
warning.
Yeah, it's like, hey, like as the like security experts in your organization, like when this shit happens, like you're gonna get blamed for it. So here are all the ways that you can like
Right.
prepare yourself and like try and make sure like you're not one of the ones that get got.
But at the end of the day, everyone's gonna get got.
Yeah,
Uh,
they made it seem like it's 60% are gonna get got. And like 40% will make it, and you will only make it if you were there. But they could have only been saying that because of like the angle. But at these talks, like these people weren't actually like I don't know. I think marketing and like sales is very nuanced and like it's so deep now. Like there's like it goes 12 layers deep um between like online and in person and traditional and all that stuff. So it could have all been a ploy, but like it didn't seem like these people were talking to you in a way that they wanted you to go to their website and enter the sales funnel. Like they were just telling you like, hey, like our industry is screwed if not enough of us like prevent this from happening. Like if we all fail, there is no security industry anymore.
God damn, that's what like the vibes they were basically saying.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I got. They were saying like, please, for the love of God, like, be serious about this. Like, we can't be like, because they were saying that a lot of people were like saying like, yeah, back in the day when it was just like door locks and keys and like maybe a card system and stuff like that, and now it's gotten to the point where people can like literally mask themselves as someone else like with enough information and like know-how. And they're saying like you can't you can't go by the same standards that we did 10 years ago. And they said multiple people said that it seems that the security industry is one of them that like ironically seem to like be behind most of the time. Like they're not on the cutting edge. Like there's a lot of
It's
like
true.
old veterans that are kind of stuck in their ways and they don't want to like do anything different.
Yep.
So, yeah. But they're saying like the adversaries are getting ready to like exploit that.
God
Exploit the
damn.
fact that like there are no young people in the industry that are like ready to like take over and like make sure that things
Interesting.
are like shored up. And yeah, it was yeah. Like it seemed like everyone was putting out a distress call. That's what every talk sounded like.
And it's not normally necessarily like that. Like, no, that's I would not say that's the vibe of the years previously because I've been to like some of them, and that's
Yeah.
not necessarily normal. I have been, I guess, seeing more of that, but from what it sounds like, is like it's definitely become more intense this
Mm-hmm.
year and recently, probably, which makes sense because like the advancements are like they're they're going like crazy and stuff. So yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, that's definitely true. I would say yeah, there are and always noticeably has been not very many young people in this industry, and most of the people in the industry are old. So then, like, what happens is a company goes to like a security integrator like us, and if it's run by all old people, then they're like, yeah, I've got the greatest product for you that'll get you exactly what you need. It was made in 1995, and it still works great today. Like, and like, yeah, it sure does work great, but like, you can hack it. It's got like
Yeah.
40
Like
million
yeah,
vulnerabilities.
gateways, 1 megapixels, like
Yeah. Like you can
yeah.
look up the default password online and just like get into it. Like that's how easy some of this stuff is. Like
Well, like one of the speakers joked about that. He was like, "Yeah, like some of these like companies that we consult with, he'll go into like an admin or like C-suite's like office, look under the keyboard, and like the password is
yep,
right there."
it's right there. Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, such a vulnerability.
like come on, bruh. Like what is like these are I
Weird.
don't know, man. It was just yeah, it was very
Especially if someone comes and cleans up your office, like
yep.
you're just asking for something to get stolen or leaked.
So yeah, it was very yeah, it was very insightful, interesting, uh, thought-provoking, but on the other side of that, also very startling and disconcerting and anxiety-inducing at the same time. Which, again, I don't know if that's like the point of it, like to make people feel that way, because it's a security convention. Like you want to make people feel insecure so that your products solve
That's
that
true.
problem.
Like, yeah, if you went there and there's like, you know what? Everything is really safe. Like, you probably don't even need any of this stuff. Just go out there, feel good about what's going on, and know that you'll be okay whether you have this or not. All right, guys, thanks. Good talk. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, you're never gonna say that, like, per se. Like, even if it was safe out there. But I feel like I kind of believe them. I feel like, yeah, I hear about like companies getting hacked, like literally left and right, like literally like left and right. So like, I believe it.
So
And now that
before
I see
we
a fucking drone, we're already at the point where it's drone versus drones. Like, it's not even like anymore. It's like, oh, you're a business or something that has drones. Now it's like you're literally we made something that fights against drones now. And like so that means that's gonna get more prevalent. Like it's just all of it's gonna get more prevalent. Yeah, it's that's just wild. Yeah, the skies are gonna be riddled with drone warfare.
Those are just
It's,
I'm convinced those are just for people who say they don't want a drone, but they really want a drone.
They just want a drone that shoots down other drones.
No, so this is their excuse. They're like, well, I need to have one because I'm just so sick of them, but I have to live in
Okay,
this world where I have them. Like, no, you just want a drone. Just say you want a drone.
what about the drone? What about the EMP launcher instead of the anti-drone drone? Would you get that?
The EMP? No, what would I need that for?
Like this is
In case
insane.
someone was like buzzing around your property and like you don't know
Buzzing
who because
around
like
my property?
yeah,
So
your
wait,
land.
wait, wait, wait. So
So
do
everyone has to
you?
be prepared for like level 3 militant warfare alone.
I
Well,
feel
I was
like
gonna
yeah,
ask you,
every
like,
household should
do
be
you
armed
feel
with an
like
EMP launcher.
do you feel like that's where we are right now? Like, do you feel like if you saw someone snooping around your house, your first assumption of them has been like, yeah, this is a data threat. Like that's what you would assume?
Well, it could be like any kind of threat. Like if
No, no,
someone
no, no, no.
just
I'm
like
no, no. I'm
parked
not
a
asking you.
drone
No, no. I'm not asking you
right
about the
over my.
No, I'm not asking about the possibilities. I'm just saying if you saw a human being lurking around your house, would your first assumption of them be that the most likely thing they're doing is stealing your data?
A human? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be
Okay.
like, something's happening here.
Okay. Like surely you would think so like we're not there yet. I would not say then we're there yet because then if I would be worried if like every time you saw in another person you were like, yeah, my biggest threat here is that they're gonna steal my data. Like if that's the one you put directly
Uh,
underneath or next to like death, then yeah, we're fucked.
but what does that have to do with using an EMP launcher
Why would I would need that? That's my
to
point.
shoot down the drones?
I'm not that afraid of drones. That's not where I'm at.
But what if, okay, what if somebody like every night, like when as soon as you went to bed, just flew a drone right next to your window and like clearly it was pointing in? Like wouldn't you want to do something about that? Like who
Yeah,
the fuck is flying this drone?
yeah, I'd call the police.
And then as soon as they see the cops arrive, they would just fly the drone away.
Yeah, I just
And like
record
what are
them.
the
I
cops gonna
just
do?
record them doing it, and once I had evidence, then they'd be fucked.
Evidence of what? A drone flying?
Yeah, of them controlling it. I could like track it back
But
down to their house.
but they're like 2 miles away.
Okay, I can drive a car.
Well,
I
they're
would
gonna
do
like fly
I
at
would
the
do
forest.
all of those things before I'd buy an EMP launcher. How about that? Does that answer your question?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? Who are they trying to sell to at
I
this
don't
thing? Like, who?
understand it. I
Who is
don't.
here?
I don't get
Like,
it.
this is not a military convention, but
It's
is it?
not. It doesn't make any sense.
Honestly, I would just shoot it. Like I would shoot it with a BB gun
With a
or throw
gun.
a rock at
With
it
a gun.
with a real gun. Honestly, like yeah, like that's
No, what you need,
Valeros, he's
what you
growing.
need
He's
is
like,
what you're
shh,
explained.
shh.
You need the net.
The
what
net.
if okay, what if you were a daycare and
Or
someone kept
you
flying
need
this
that
drone
goo. You need
and
that
kept
goo grenade
filming the
to
kids
find those new.
and you couldn't have any weapons on premises because it's a daycare, but you can have an EMP launcher because that's like safe. So maybe
Because that's
that's the
safe.
target.
What about a sandblaster? I feel like that would work.
A sand blaster? Would that take out a drone? Actually take it out of the air?
Yeah, for sure.
Like from how far?
If you can get, yeah, it'd probably be like 300 feet. Like, it depends on how big the hose is and like the volume of sand.
Yeah, I think the EMP launcher goes like 1,000 feet or something like that. It's like really far.
Okay, then yeah, I guess yeah, I'll take an EMP
Like you could
launcher.
snipe a drone out
It
of someone
depends.
else's yard if you wanted to.
Is it? How can you program that to like not EMP myself, or is it just like a last like measure?
You have to aim it.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
So,
no.
so if I panic and I'm like, oh god, and I drop it and then it like launches at the ground, I'm fucked.
Well, it's just like no physical object launches. It just shoots. It's like a laser beam, essentially. So like
Okay, so
it
yeah,
just
it's
shoots an
all fucked.
invisible laser directly like.
He's saying you're
Yeah,
fucked.
My
no,
one
you're
six
fine.
thousand dollar
He's
shot, like
yeah,
fucked.
yeah. He's
You can
saying
shoot
yeah,
it.
if you drop it, you're fucked.
You
That's what
can
he's saying.
apparently you can shoot it at yourself and like you'll be relatively fine. Like, would you want to continue doing that constantly all day, every day? Probably not. But like from what I understand, like it's safe for humans. Like there's nothing you have to worry. But electronics, done. Like you'll never use anything again that you point that at. I would have to feel like, is that illegal? I feel like that's almost kind of dangerous to have.
Yeah.
Like if you're getting chased by the cops and you pull out an EMP launcher, can you turn off their car?
Yes.
That'd be interesting. Huh.
And you're definitely going to jail then, because if they crash
Yeah.
and like get injured or die, like
Oh, for sure. There's got to be some sort of law where you can't use an EMP launcher. I'm sure that's just like somehow like an attack on an officer in some way.
it
Like,
has nothing to do with the EMP launcher. Like you did something that killed someone.
oh, all right, well, what if you were running away, but you came to a complete stop and they pulled up behind you, and then you use it and then just pulled off really fast? Then they just can't drive after you.
Oh yeah, then I think you're still liable because it's a cop. If it was just like another like civilian, then you'd be like safer. But yeah, if you
If
do
you do
anything to
anything to
police,
inconvenience a cop, you're going directly to jail.
yeah, you have a way greater chance. Yes, like that's like a plus 50% like buff like enhanced chance of going to jail.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, you have to aim it. I'm looking at it right now. Oh, they made like a compact version of it. But yeah, it looks like the javelin launcher.
That's for a soldier. Who the hell is standing outside? You're like you're
Like,
you're
let
you're
me get out the
playing
javelin.
commercial business like with a javelin on their shoulder, like just pointing up. Like you're not selling like normal stuff. Like you're doing something
Oh
wrong.
man. Yeah, I want to find the price on this thing. Like, how much does it actually cost? Like, if it's even the slightest bit viable, if it's under $10,000, a company could like feasibly buy this. Actually, not even feasibly, like easily. I've seen companies waste so much money on dumber stuff. Yeah, I couldn't find it, but yeah, that's interesting. I guess, yeah. Would you rather have like, let's say this drone thing just becomes a problem? Like, what if like some nefarious like Chinese company or like Russian company comes like over here and just launches like thousands of drones to just like do like this weird in invasive stuff, like just like everyone in like America, like or like in a region. And like it just becomes common. Like, what if that's the new warfare? Like, we just annoy each other with like these garbage drones that like just have cameras and mics attached to them, and it's like transmitting data back to like whatever server to just be stolen or sold for whatever reason. So, like, what if that's like what's happening? Would you rather use whatever you can find in your house, an EMP launcher, or a tiny drone that takes out the other drones?
What was the first one?
The EMP launcher.
Well, the EMP launcher,
The tiny
the
drone that
tiny
takes out other
drone,
drones.
and there's
And
one
then
more.
whatever you find around your house, aka like what you were describing before.
Like,
I'm going with whatever I find around my house.
yeah. So these drones are like attacking me?
No, it's like paparazzi. Like the paparazzi don't attack you, but like it's annoying and like
Oh,
invasive.
so I can just shut all my windows and get like blackout curtains, and they couldn't come in.
Yeah, yeah. But every time you go outside, they're gonna be like,
Oh,
yeah, clearly around.
okay, yeah. That whatever I have around my house, then I guess.
So you would just let them fly around.
Yeah, I don't care.
What if it's like really loud, like all the time? Like it's like just like 24/7.
Yeah, I don't see
Like,
it.
I'm just laughing thinking about it because like I would go crazy. Like I don't care what I would have to do. I would throw my mattress at the thing, like anything.
That sounds terrible.
That's interesting. I feel like if they can make drones cheap enough where you can get it to like annoy like an entire like section or economy where it slows down production, it's like a non-lethal way to like hit someone's economy essentially. I don't know, that'd be kind of hilarious. It's like if you want to go to war with someone without actually starting like a lethal conflict, like that's what you would do.
Ugh. Yeah, that's the worst. So you just drive the people insane.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be funny. I mean, they're already making like drone swarms and stuff. I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Oh, that's gonna be the worst. I'm not gonna want to
Hilarious.
live. Not gonna want to live in a world like that.
Yeah, and I'm guessing yeah, I've already asked you guys if you would get a robot slave, and it was for sure a no for both of you. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I don't want a robot slave.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just a
I
little
kind
bit too dystopian for me.
I kind of want one. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like no one else is ever gonna want one. So like, either I would have to have a robot slave, and like not have it around anyone else except for me somehow, or I just can't have a robot slave because like every single person I've ever talked to is like, no, keep that thing away from me.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Nobody actually wants it. Well, yeah, that's the future. That's actually another thing they had there at the convention. They had like these like dog robots with like cameras on their backs and stuff, and like an off-road drone that like patrols your like property with like a camera or whatever. And you can like replace the camera with like a machine gun if you want.
A machine gun.
Yeah, they had a weaponized spot from like Boston Dynamics, and more than one company was like presenting it.
Yeah.
So it's like there's no regulation. Like once you buy it, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like a attachment. Like you just slide off the camera and buy the machine gun attachment and set it to kill mode.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, you're talking about EMPs, like that's a weapon.
Is it though?
Yeah. What if
Yeah,
you
it
have
is.
what if you have a pacemaker? You're dead.
Oh yeah, you would die. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're done, done. Like that's instant death, dude. That's kind of dirty. That's like crazy. You could just kill someone if you knew they have a pacemaker with an EMP launcher,
Oof.
and
Yeah.
they would
And
like
there's
nothing
plenty
would
of
happen. They
people.
would just fall
I
over.
mean, there's like people in like ICUs, like they're all hooked up to shit that like it's all gonna shut off. Like, yeah, you're killing a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true. They should probably regulate EMP weapons.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, they should probably do that. The thing is, I feel like is it hard to make an EMP weapon? I don't know much about like physics, but I
Surely,
feel like it's not super hard.
surely
I
at
know you
hospitals
really
and shit now they have like plugs that don't won't let you just pull some shit out of the wall, right? Like that had to have been fixed by now.
pulse
This
shit out
has
of the
nothing to
wall.
do with an EMP.
No, I mean like when you said, you said like at a hospital. Like I was when you said the thing about like killing someone with an EMP. I thought like at the hospital, like yeah, they would not be able to tell. And then Gouda had said like people are hooked up to this kind of shit all the time, and it made me think about like, can you actually still do that? Like at the hospital, at the hospital, is there really still a thing as like pulling the plug? Like if someone's on life support, if you just
No, I
pull the
mean
plug.
like an EMP
Huh,
would like
I thought so.
destroy the systems that keep people alive.
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah, and I would
wondering. I'm just
assume
wondering if
No,
those
you
if
same
they
can't.
turned it
system
off,
You
they would
can't.
die.
can
No,
be unplugged.
no, you can't do it physically. Like with the like a human body, you can't pull the plug now.
Like that's
Have
not
you
a
You
thing.
seen the
need
plug?
you need an EMP.
So every time they take someone like off the machine to let them die, there's like a guy with an EMP
He
launcher that
just
comes
comes in
in,
and just
shoots
fucking
them point
pushes the
point
button.
blank.
No, like they actually, yeah, isn't that crazy? They actually have like tools, like as if you work at Target and you're opening like the security case to get the Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some shit. Like you have to actually like go there and like security unlock the systems so that
Mm,
you can shut it off. So
that's
like,
smart. So no
and
one's just like
you
trying to
might even
kill
just be
grandpa
like
before he's ready.
yeah, you might even be like some lowly like intern or like practitioner, but you have to go home knowing that you're the one that was like the actual executioner.
Interesting. Brutal.
Yeah. They had to do a lot of that during COVID.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's right. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why we're so fucked now. No one wants to go back. They're like, I can't go back. I can't. So many deaths in my hands.
Yeah, if you guys would you ever buy an EMP pistol? I'm really trying to sell you on this EMP idea. Like, is there any
I
amount
don't
of
understand why.
miniaturization of an EMP weapon that you would buy?
I just
What if it
told
was
you.
like a little keychain thing?
I just
Like
told
you
you
put
about
on
the
your
like,
keychain.
pacemaker. I don't know like who around me has a pacemaker. No one has a pacemaker like necklace on.
That's true, I guess. All right, well, I guess the EMP. I guess every American household getting an EMP gun is never gonna work. I have to scratch that one off the books. Darn it. Well,
Terrible. I don't want one of those.
No.
that's funny. Well, I guess moving on to something else other than drones. You guys hear that OJ Simpson died?
Yeah.
The juice. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he is.
Do you guys
Yeah,
feel bad about it?
no. I think
What?
that was way before my time. Like I feel nothing about it.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'm not really connected to it in any way. Or to him.
Yeah, I guess it was before our time. So you guys don't remember this on the news at all? Like,
I don't think I was alive. Was I?
yeah, you were.
When did it
The
happen?
the OJ Simpson chase, like the late 90s or something like that.
Really?
Nah, it has been earlier than that. It was earlier than that.
No, it was. I'm pretty sure it was like mid to late 90s.
Might have been. Let me look.
We were coherent.
Mid 90s, 95. So I mean, I was 4. I
No, we were
wasn't.
four.
Yeah, I wasn't alive really.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't remember any of it. Do I remember the trial? I
Wait,
remember
so
I remember people saying if the glove don't fit, you must acquit, like during that time. Like I definitely remember that. Like, yeah. But like other than that, like no, I don't remember like the controversy behind it and that it was actually like turned into like a racial thing and all this stuff. I like yeah, I guess like mostly like black people supported him in his innocence or whatever at the time and like white people like obviously didn't. Like I don't even know like how could like he definitely did it. Like he did it for sure. Like there is no question. He even wrote a
yeah, he
book
did
afterwards. He's like, I did it.
it.
Like it literally was called I Did It.
Oh my god. I mean, it's not funny. Rest in peace. But like, holy
He's
shit.
like, this is my confession, admissible in court. I killed those people for sport. But yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
I think it's just the way his face looked like he was guilty for the rest of the time.
like
Like his face looked one way before that night happened, and then afterwards, like there was just like an irreversible like deadness or like scowl to like just the way he held his eyes. Am I wrong about this?
no, you're completely right. I would imagine that the weight of brutally murdering two people and then trying to get away with it for years afterwards, and honestly for the rest of his life, because no one ever let him live that down or forget that.
Yeah.
Like, I would imagine that weighs on on your soul in ways that are irreversible.
Is
Yeah, that's
this
crazy.
possible to like disappear? Like, can you go to another country and just like blend in? Or is everyone just so connected that eventually someone's gonna be like, "Hey, you're that guy."
I don't know. Like, I feel like, is it possible to disappear in Kenya? Do you think?
No,
You
it's
don't think
not.
so? So
Mm-mm.
if you were trying to run right now, you don't think you can go to Kenya and like hide out somewhere?
No, I can't.
Damn. Yeah, I
I have
guess.
to go like way deep in there. I mean, it's possible. It's way more possible than it is here, I would say.
But at the end of the day, they think you think that you'd be found.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, for
why?
sure.
Like who would like how would you be found exactly, do you think?
Because everyone there has like social media and stuff. Like if people are looking for me like in a international scale, like anything that's US based, like they know about it there. It's not even like necessarily international, like our news is their news. So, like yeah, they would know about it immediately. If I did something in the sense that they would have to be looking for me internationally, then yeah, they would know about it. And someone would give me up right away, like for the money.
They're like, "Oh yeah, there's an American in our town. Never seen one before." Like, but now he's here, so
That happens
clearly.
even that happens even when I don't have a bounty. Like whenever I go back to like my dad's like home, like little town in up country, like everyone knows. Like they talk about us. They're like, "Oh yeah, do you see the Americans are back in town?" Like there, he even brought like both of his sons this time.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Both of his
it's
sons.
not
Wow.
it's not it's not funny, but like yeah,
So you can't hide. So basically, no, yeah, yeah, you would stick out everywhere you go.
yeah. It's the closest I've ever felt to like what being like a mild celebrity would be like, and it's shit. Like it's absolute trash.
Interesting. Yeah,
Like
everybody knows what you're
like
doing, but
everyone's
you
looking
gain
at
nothing
you.
from it.
Literally everyone looks at you, like no matter what. Like when you walk by, everyone's just looking at you.
Like, yeah, that would be, yeah, that would be hard to get used to for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's probably true. Like, the only place I could blend in would be somewhere in America.
Hmm.
Like, honestly, I guess, like, I would pretend like I'm an illegal immigrant here in America.
That's not a good way to blend in.
But there's probably like places in like Texas where there's like plenty of people who would seem like they're an illegal immigrant or something that I could blend in with. It's like, yeah, no
I,
one's gonna.
I don't know. I think John got it right. Like I feel like your town like definitely is accepting of the old man don't bother me energy as long as like you're willing to like let people know your name and address at least. Is that right or wrong?
Uh, yeah, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, I would say it's definitely like a very noticeable like divide between our generation and like your parents' generation, like Bolero or John, or I guess my parents. My dad's a little bit older than that, but like depending on how much personal information you're willing to divulge to to this person, like personally, like straight up, like face to face, that's how much they decide like to trust you.
Basically.
Yeah, very small town feel.
Yeah. Do you think that feel like in this day and age? Do you think that feels better? Do you think what feels worse to tell someone your personal information face to face or to know your digital information is being taken from you anonymously?
Face to face. I would rather that happen. Anonymously? That sucks.
Wait, which one are you saying you'd rather happen?
Someone take it face to face.
Okay.
Then I have like a chance to be like, oh, it was that fucker.
Have you
But if it's
wait, so what do you think, John?
Yeah, I think Valero's kind of onto something. You have a better chance of actually holding the thief accountable if it's face to face. So I guess face to face.
I feel the same way. And have you guys always felt that way from like age 13 up until now?
yeah, definitely.
There was never a point in your life where you were like, yeah, like my digital information is like that's nothing, like whatever.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I
Like
feel that way. Well, it depends on what digital information I guess we're talking about, but
I felt like that probably up until like yeah 2009 or 10. No, no, that's not true. Probably like 2000, maybe 13, 14. Yeah, 2013, I would say. That's when I felt like, okay. That's when I finally stopped feeling like my digital information was like, who cares? Like, it's nothing. Then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start caring a little bit.
Like, do you guys remember what year, like around what year it was when your email address became more spam than actual like pertinent emails?
Hmm, more
immediately.
spam.
Yeah,
Like,
it
the
seems like it
moment you
happened
made
like instantly, right?
it. Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Like it seems like I had a spam folder like on my AOL like trial account.
Yeah. Actually, spam was even worse back then because the spam filters weren't as good. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah,
But
have you
how much?
guys ever used a payphone?
Yeah, that was very little.
No,
You've
I don't think I ever have.
you've used a
I've
payphone.
seen one, like I've like
Hmm.
played with one, like I've touched the buttons and shit, but I've never used it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember using one.
they're all over Chicago when I was little.
Ugh, they're always so dirty feeling. Like after you use the payphone, I was like, well, I'm for sure gonna get a disease now. Like, definitely.
That's how I feel
Like the
about
buttons
porta
were
potties.
always greasy. Wait, what?
There was still.
That's how I
Oh,
feel about
sorry.
porta potties.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Bro,
mean
I
that's
don't even
a
care.
fair
Like I
feeling.
still go. Like if it's like I don't give a fuck.
Nope, nope.
That's definitely a fair feeling.
There's still like I think one or two payphones at O'Hare, the international terminal, but like maybe just one or two, and they might be gone by the end of next year.
Wait, you still know of some?
Yeah, those are literally the only ones I know of, like
Where?
in all of the Midwest. At the O'Hare International Arrivals Terminal.
No way. There's a payphone?
Yeah, they got like a bank of like two or three of them.
Holy shit. Have you ever seen someone in there?
No, never.
Oh my god.
I almost always go and like take a picture of it, but the last time I was there, I didn't.
Yeah, I feel like I should go there and take a picture with it. Maybe even make a call. That'll never be something ever again. I'm surprised it's even like around now. It's more like a novelty or a tourist attraction than anything.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, yeah, actually, I was talking to you about this recently, John. Like, if I got arrested and someone was like, "All right, you got to make one phone call," I'd be fucked. Like, I don't know like, I don't
Mm.
know.
Do you
Like,
know any
uh,
numbers?
I only know my wife's number.
I know. No, I know my parents' house old landline number, which they do not have anymore.
That's the only thing.
Actually, no, the one I know is I know my dad's cell phone number. I
Okay,
know that
that's
one.
perfect.
Yeah.
Surely he'll answer, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if he doesn't answer, he'll at least like get the message.
Okay, then yeah, you're fine. And yeah, so are you. If you know at least your wife's number. Yeah, I know my parents and my wife's number.
So if you need one phone call, you'd be good.
Yeah,
You feel like.
I would be able to call someone. Yeah.
And you too, John.
Yeah. Yep.
All
Do
right,
I
yeah,
know
me
anyone
too.
else's number? I feel like
Do you
I
think?
know the UCC's number by heart. And I know my company's office number by heart too.
Do you think that's fair? Do you think that your ability to find help should like rely on like how many people's phone numbers you know?
No, I don't think that's fair. I think they should update the system and give you like 10 megabits of data on like a computer screen.
How much can you even? I don't think people like actually realize the what that means. Like,
Which
can
is a
you
shame.
tell?
People need to learn that.
Yeah, can you tell the audience what 10 megabits of data can like actually do for you?
Like a picture is like, well, actually nowadays pictures can get really big, but usually on like a normal standard cell phone picture, like which is like pretty good quality, it'll take like 3-ish megabytes.
I'm pretty sure even
So
now,
like,
depending on if you get where you get caught, like if you got caught like and arrested with a cell phone on you and you didn't know the number by heart, they would let you get the number like from your cell phone. So like you don't have to like I think it is a kind of a stupid system to like you have to do that, but I think they've adapted enough now to know like nobody really knows anyone's
actually,
number.
so like let's say they give you a computer or like or literally like a Android or an iPhone, whatever you're used to using, could you still save yourself? You still have to like log into your stuff to find anything.
Hmm.
This is assuming
Yeah.
you just get caught with nothing on you, like you
That.
don't have your own phone.
Yeah, or they don't let you use your phone because they're just like, that's not our problem.
Yeah, giving that would make no sense to not let you use your phone, but then give you a blank phone. Like, how does that help? Like,
Yeah.
that's purposely
I
being
mean,
obtuse about the problem. Like,
you could think
you're
that like
not
your
trying to help
phone.
me solve this.
You could think that your phone has like a EMP in it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, maybe that's what they think. Just like,
You
no,
could
we're not letting
trigger
you
it.
touch your
yeah. You
phone.
gotta log into our system with your phone credentials. Like, what do you think this is? What? I wonder
Actually,
who
I
yeah,
mean,
I
uses
wouldn't
I
even
something
do
think
like
that
this.
makes sense to me. Like, you could have a phone that has a self-destruct button on it,
that. Yeah,
Uh,
like a bomb
like a
inside.
Galaxy S5 or whatever
But like,
version
what
that
if your
was.
phone has all the evidence of all the crime, and you're like, yeah, let me see it for just a second, and then you
No,
just
they
press
would
the erase
they
all
would
button.
just let you tell them what person you're trying to call, and they would have you in handcuffs, and they just hold the phone up to your ear at that point.
Hmm.
They wouldn't let you do that on your own.
But then you'd have to unlock the phone in front of them, and then
Yeah,
they could be
but
like,
that's
great,
just
now we
on
have all your shit.
but on iPhones that's just your face.
Well, yeah, if you have that on, then it's over. Like they're getting inside your phone. There's nothing you can do.
But at like ports of entry, they can make you unlock your phone just because like the borders like they're basically like their own territories. Like it's like borders and
Yeah,
airports like they don't have to go by any rules. Like they don't need your permission. They're just gonna bring it right
like
up to your face.
yeah, they say to bring a fake phone when you do, like go overseas, like for like places like that too, because like yeah, you just have no choice. Like
Wait,
they
Yeah.
so
can't
they
open
can
your
tell you
phone.
to like strip down to your skivvies and sing Yankee Doodle,
Oh,
and
oh,
there's nothing you can do about it?
Sing Yankee Doodle
Yeah,
is a little crazy. That would be
yeah. If you
wild.
want to get into their country,
Yeah, but they definitely could do a full body search.
and they can definitely look in your phone, and if they see anything bad, I forgot what countries were doing that, but like there were definitely countries doing that, especially during the pandemic. There's like unlock your phone if there's anything about you like doing anything illegal, like smoking weed in your phone. There's like no, you can't come here. Or even worse, you just get arrested immediately.
Dude, speaking of, I've seen so many shows lately. Like Danielle and I watch these like crossing the border shows or like the border kind of they're not like border patrol but like port of entry shows and like the amount of drugs that people try to smuggle across the border is insane. And like in the manners that they do it, like these people hid like $2 million worth of cocaine in packages of baby wipes. Like, like what?
That's
Whose
crazy.
even idea is that to do?
And did they like not even bring a baby with them?
There's no baby. It was just a baby wipe shipment.
A baby wipe shipment. Yeah,
Yeah,
one baby with 400,000
four
Yeah,
packs
hundred
of wipes.
thousand
yeah.
wipes.
Six men and 6,000 baby wipes. No baby in sight. No women. No other
Hey,
children.
he's just a truck driver.
Nothing.
He didn't know anything about this.
Yeah, he didn't even know when he was delivering.
Yeah. Apparently that happens too sometimes, which is crazy. But yeah, like I can't even believe the amount of drug, and apparently the amount that they actually seize is only like less than 10% of the actual drugs that actually cross. So like they're coming in full droves.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's
Like,
wild.
people are gotta get all these drugs from somewhere,
Hmm.
and they're definitely doing them.
And like hard shit, like fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl. Yeah, like, why would you want that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, like,
Apparently
I've
it's
seen
addictive.
Vice videos that said, he's like, yeah, I used to do meth and heroin, but then it wasn't good enough, so I went to fentanyl. Like, so, like,
Jesus.
now you're addicted to fentanyl? Like, but fentanyl kills you. Like, that's, like,
Yeah,
the
he's
point of it.
addicted to the death wish.
Yeah, it's like, you want to die. Like, that is what that is. Like,
I mean, that's just like cigarettes, though. It's just way slower.
and he asked him, he was like, so like, what's the appeal? Like, when you find, like, when you hear about a drug dealer who like 6, 7 of their clients like died, like, why do people still go to him? And he was like, man, because if it was good enough to kill some people, it must be really good. Like, no,
It's
dude,
it's
it
just
makes
like the
no
American
fucking
diet.
Yeah,
sense.
yep, yeah,
We
yeah,
just
yeah,
got to
you
keep
got it.
coming back.
Yep, you got it.
We all know where it's heading. It's not like we're obtuse to where we're going. We know.
You have
Obtuse.
no choice. It's the only way to feel good.
Is that the word of the day for you? Obtuse.
Obtuse.
Yeah, why are you being so obtuse?
Don't be obtuse.
Obtuse. But yeah, that stuff is crazy. Yeah, in Vegas, did we see any homeless people actually laying around?
Yeah, I saw one with a husky in Vegas of
Oh
all
yeah, I
places.
saw the husky guy.
Like,
Yep,
goddamn, like
that
he was
poor
baking.
husky. Yeah,
Like he
I
was in
know.
the sunspot. Like, was he doing that shit on purpose? Like, I bet he was. He's like, oh god, look at my husky in the sunspot. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, literally. Terrible. Yeah, he should at least been in the shade. That's true. And that was the first thing I thought too. I was like, that guy has no business owning a dog. Like that poor dog. Like he was so dirty. He didn't look starving at least, but like he was definitely like filthy.
Was he
And
though?
it was a puppy. Yeah, it was. Was he filthy? Or did he just make him seem filthy?
I feel like I can't trust anything there. So John, so there was a so for context, the strip is like I would say I don't know 4 miles long. If you walked end to end, 5 miles. What would you say, Valero? If you walk from the Luxor to the Sahara.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but just for
Holy
context,
shit.
he was laughing with
Yeah, dude.
like exasperation, as if to do such a thing would be like
Suicide.
comical or yeah, or suicide.
Like, yeah, like no human in their sane mind would ever choose to do such a thing. Let me look it up actually. Luxor to Sahara.
So, anyways, while
Yeah,
he's looking
holy
this up,
shit, you were dead right. 5 miles.
all right, cool, great.
Nice.
I'm glad that my magnetic sense of the globe is correct. So, uh, so, like, yeah, so this trip is like 5 miles. So usually you're not trying to like walk it on your own unless you have like a hotel in the middle of the strip. Then you're like, cool. So we got like this monorail pass, and I guess this monorail is pretty new because the last time I was there in 2014. Yeah, in 2014, like the monorail did not exist, but we luckily stayed at a hotel that was in the middle of the strip, so we didn't have to worry about this. But this monorail like lets you off only at like certain stops, and it's not at every single hotel on the strip. It's like at certain points. Like there's maybe 8 stops, and between that 5 mile length, these 5 stops only account for like maybe 24 different casinos that actually exist on the strip. Does that sound right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just kind of have to like stop at the one that's closest to what you want to go to. And our first day there, like we didn't have to go to the convention yet, so we were stopping at the Flamingo exit, and that one like dropped you off at like an outside like walkway. And this walkway had cameras. Like so this walkway was like covered, like it had like a ceiling, but there were cameras every 10 feet of this walkway. And this walkway was only about 100 feet long, but there was cameras every 10 feet. Like it was the
It's pointing
strangest
right at
thing.
your face.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So I was like, oh, that point that made me feel like, oh, this whole place is like gamified. Like I feel like once you land in Vegas, like you get like an ID number and they like track everything that you do, and they like manipulate things as much as they can to like make you spend money accordingly.
And like the thing is, like the entire strip is only owned by two separate companies. The whole thing, only two companies. And like that very thing that you were saying, where like when you get there, your face gets like assigned an ID number. They're literally selling software like that at ICS West.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
like, and that's just the stuff that's available to us normal like people. Like these people like are gonna have the most cutting edge, like first developed like technology and security possible. So yeah, I think you're actually probably maybe onto something with that.
like
Like
so many cameras, man. Like I'm
it's
not crazy.
ridiculous.
Like please explain to the people. Like you were there.
No, it's real. There was nowhere you can look. Like there was nowhere you could put your eyes except for into your own like chest or arms where you wouldn't see a camera, basically. Not even basically, that's exactly accurate. But most of the places you would look, your vision would have, I don't know, 10 cameras at any line of sight at any given time, basically. Especially if you were anywhere near the casino. But honestly, the casino didn't even matter. Yeah, there were cameras everywhere, like
Mhm.
everywhere at all times, at every angle possible, pointing everywhere. Yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Yeah, everything about that place is like synced up. It's just like it's like Fortnite. Like you're just dropping into like a map and like you're under like their spell, their control, their like rules. Like
Do you think
it's
there's like some Illuminati room where they can see like 10,000 cameras on one like massive screen all at once?
absolutely. You said that you saw the meeting in the middle of the convention floor, right?
Yeah, yep,
Everyone's wearing suits and everything.
yep, yep. And I think also what made it very like untrustworthy is that it was all white males, like middle-aged, middle to older white males.
That
And
makes it untrustworthy now.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Why
that
does that make it
image
untrustworthy?
Yeah. I thought
is
that's like the most trustworthy.
no,
Am
I
I
feel like
wrong?
that's the American image of corruptness. Like if you want to give the feeling of corrupt, you would show two middle-aged white men shaking
Wait,
hands.
seriously? So if you
Yeah.
saw two middle-aged white men walking down the sidewalk, you would cross the street?
No, they're not dangerous, they're corrupt.
That's dangerous.
No, corruption is just like, hey, like it's unfair. It's like these people are making nothing, but we're taking everything because we made a
That's
deal
the
that we
most
didn't tell anyone
dangerous.
about. Well, it's not
Okay.
like I would cross the street dangerous. I was like, huh, well, those guys have more money than me. If anything, they would cross the street from me because I would be the one like who has something to take from them.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah, that's. Yeah. I can't remember like where I've seen that, but like I've definitely seen that like a lot in media. Like whenever they try and portray like corruption, it's two white males shaking hands and smiling. They're very happy about what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're
Like sometimes
definitely wearing like
laughing
at
so
least
hard that spit's coming out of their mouth.
they're at least wearing like a dress shirt
Oh
or like
yeah,
a blazer.
usually full suits, yeah,
Yeah,
or
they're
something
not
like that.
wearing like a graphic tee or anything like that.
No, yeah, absolutely not. No, yeah, it's like a suit and tie.
Yeah. There were a lot of suit and ties there, man. Way more than I was expecting. Like, I thought everyone was gonna be in like their field gear, like their dungarees and like work shirts and
That's
shit.
hilarious.
No, it was like all C-suite people. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it
This is
was.
outrageous.
It's like upper management C suites. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I saw like I really didn't see like any field people unless they were just like dressing like up to the occasion.
Like, doesn't that like feel corrupt? Like a table filled with 20, it was like 15 or 20 white middle-aged males. Like, why is there not a single other demographic here?
Wait,
Like that alone feels
what?
corrupt. Like,
So just any table of 15 white people, middle-aged white people is corrupt?
not even white people. There were no women. It was
Okay,
just
so
dudes.
white men. Like, what if it was just like a family male bonding trip?
Holy shit. And
Yeah,
they
I guess
have the
it
top
depends on
floor of
like
the biggest booth in the thing.
yeah, it depends on the
And they're all
context.
wearing suits at a huge meeting, like evil villains table. Like it was literally an evil villains table. It was like really long, all wearing suits. Yeah.
Were any none of them were overweight?
No, some of them were overweight.
Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay, then yeah. It was definitely like some evil shit going on.
Yeah, like they looked like old enough to be like, yeah, either vice
If
presidents
you guys think
or
I'm wrong, I feel like you can't be an evil organization without at least a few people overindulging and getting like fat.
no, that's probably accurate to a point.
I have no idea.
Like, is there anyone like that you can think of, like in any of the tech industries that are fat though? Because I can't.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Maybe they just
Yeah,
keep those
that is
people away from
fascinating.
cameras. But also, the tech industry is based in California, and like California is all about eating healthy and
But
not
they
eating
like sit
fat.
all day.
Well, they're sitting maybe, but like they're probably like running on their like automated treadmill, like life booster time machine thing or whatever. And there's like, how much quinoa have you had today?
So fibrous.
Hmm.
So much gut health.
Yeah, that's why I guess I assume that would be. But like an oil industry, there's got to be fat people over there. Like they're not based in California. Like I feel like they're based in all the fattest states.
I mean, it didn't seem like the security convention was about health. They had like they were giving out drinks. I didn't see anyone giving out food besides those cookies. There was
Yeah,
no
there
one giving
wasn't much
out
food.
like smoothies or like salads or anything like that. It was alcohol or like desserts.
Yeah, yeah. So what does that mean then?
You tell me, man. It was my first time there. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah, like was there a
Literally
lot of
every booth, it was like if you didn't have like it was like trick or treat. It was like if you didn't have like a candy bowl, you had like alcohol or like some kind of like I don't know.
if you
Like
didn't have something, basically you were probably struggling. You
yeah,
were on the minority, probably.
like a like an arcade item, like an arcade gift at least.
Yeah, something. Remember when we took that koozie from the that booth that we did not care about not one bit?
Yeah,
We
I'm
just
using
went over
it.
there awkwardly and just
I'm
like
using it right now.
we just looked at it awkwardly and like stood there and then like, oh, huh, and like started poking at like their little
Hey,
display items.
let me give their like value back at least. Shout out to it's gonna be backwards I think, but shout out
Oh,
to
yeah,
JLM Wholesale and
Oh no,
Allegiant.
we can see it.
Allegiant.
JLM.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
shout out
JLM
to y'all.
Wholesale and Allegiant. Allegiant's like huge. JLM Wholesale, never heard of them. But hey, if you
Yeah, there you
need
go.
some some door locks, that's what we were poking at, I remember in particular.
Yeah, they had
Maybe
one of
you can
those
go to
like
them.
crash bars.
Yeah, a
The
crash
one
bar.
like where you're like not even like trying to open the door, you're just like fucking like like lean your whole body into it and like the whole thing opens. Like it's
Yeah,
a
yep.
whole bar. Like, do you know what I don't even know how to describe it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like all you have to do is run into the door and it'll open basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a like
just
super
crash into it.
long like steel rectangle that you just have to like lean on and it'll
Yeah,
open.
and it just goes inward. Yeah, and it opens.
Yeah.
That crash bar. Yeah, so if there's a stampede, then like people won't get stuck at the doors and killed.
Yeah, that crush hazard.
Yeah. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I think that's actually what that's for, or something like that. I learned that at one of the security conventions. What do you know? Learn
Yeah,
something
one of
new
the
every
guys
day.
talked about that. He was like, building security, site security, crush hazard.
Crash hazards.
Yeah, crush
Yeah,
hazard.
that'd be crazy. There were so many people running behind you that they squished you up against the wall and you died.
Yeah, if I like, it's crazy how like, like the words and like the mantra of everyone like got in my head. Like if I walked up to anyone and they were relaxed, I was like, oh, this person isn't serious. It's like, oh, you're not hiding and like on alert. Like, oh, you're not about it. This is security.
Yeah, yeah, basically. Oh man, yeah, it was crazy. It was fun. Like literally, it was so big. I don't know how anyone could go there and actually talk to like even half the people there, like within the like 3 days that they let you do it. But
Yeah, you have to like divide and conquer, and we could have
yeah,
done that, but we'd have to like plan ahead of time.
yeah, and you'd have to spend like 8, 9 hours the full time that it's open there every day. Oh, I've done that before, and it is brutal. It was brutal this time. Like my feet were throbbing, but like, oh yeah, it's you have to know. Yeah, it helps to be, I guess, a veteran because then you know what's okay to miss and what's not. So then you kind of go straight to what you need. But even so, like, yeah, I could have used more time there, and even with the time I did have, my feet and legs were killing me. So yeah, but it was fun. I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a great yeah. Even if even if I had nothing to do, like if I wasn't even like tangentially or like related to the security industry, I would try and find some way to go. Cause like just like the information and the things they're talking about is like it's literally about everything that's going on around you in your everyday life, and you don't even realize it.
yeah, that's true. It's like the power that these companies have, they've been amassing, and most people have not even noticed. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's not fine.
yeah. I mean,
All right, well, I feel like that's a pretty good place to stop it for today. Watch out, everyone. You're being watched. The drone wars of the skies are coming. Your face has an ID to it,
it does.
and also, if you want, you can buy an EMP or an anti-drone drone to fight off the other drones who are droning. So tune in
Drone.
next time on Basically Monday, where we'll talk about some other crazy shit. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Dronin.